Let you all open all your three eyes.
Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham.
In this sacred manual of power manifestation, which serves as a scriptural authority containing the Shastra Pramanas, eternal unchangeable truths, Apta Pramanas, Atma Pramanas, Sakshi Pramanas, and Prataksha Pramanas, we present to you the various powers of Paramashiva. By this, we place before humanity the supreme authenticity of the power manifestation science established by the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, Jagat Guru Mahasanidhanam, His Divine Holiness Nithyananda Paramashivam. Paramashiva has systematically revealed these powers in their purest forms as various techniques and revelations to experience pure oneness with Paramashiva. As a direct experience of oneness with Paramashiva, his Shaktis powerfully manifest in an initiated being at different levels of human consciousness, physicality, physiology, psychology, and neurology permanently. We offer these power manifestation manuals to celebrate your experience of oneness with the Supreme Paramashiva. Nithyanandam.
Nithyanandam, Jnana Paddhati Manual, under the guidance of Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, Jagadguru Mahasanidhanam, His Divine Holiness, Bhagavan Nithyananda Paramashivam. Let's start with the Sadguru Vandanam. Nithyanandam Paramasukadam Kevalam Jnanamurtim Dvandvatitam Gaganasadusham Tattvamasyaadilakshya Ekam Nityam Vimalamachalam Sarvadi Sakshi Bhutam Bhavatitam Trigunarahitam Sadgurum Tam Namami. Let's go through the disclaimers. Security measures. No photography, video, audio recording. Important cautions. Please be aware of the important cautions. What is power manifestation? Let's hear from Bhagavan himself explaining what is power manifestation.
All the 25 states of consciousness, when they happen in you due to your chemicals and hormones ups and downs, it is powerlessness. When it happens in you out of your free will and consciousness, it is powerfulness. That's all. When you fall into sleep, it is powerlessness. When you enter into sleep, it is powerfulness. When you fall into dream, it is powerlessness. When you decide to dream, it is powerfulness. So I have added the ultimate powerfulness, Turiyatita, in your whole being and doing. Manifest all the powers. Understand, power manifestation is nothing but cognitive shift. It is not work. It is cognitive shift. Understand? It is just cognitive shift. It's not work. Work is a 4-letter word. Power manifestation is cognitive shift, playing with life, playing with being alive. Static matter, dynamic activity, strategic existence, all these three has no boundary. You are one with it. You are alive in everything. Everything listens to you. Everything decides as you want. Power manifestation is cognitive shift, raising your frequency, not work.
Now let's understand who is Paramashiva. Bhagavan himself has beautifully explained the Paramashiva in all of us.
Paramashiva does manifestation, maintenance, rejuvenation, pulling out of delusion and liberation. He resides in his supreme Paramashiva Swarupa as Ajomuha or Adhomuha, unborn, beyond form, formlessness. His Paramashiva Swarupa. That Paramashiva Swarupa manifests with these 5 faces as Sadashiva, Tatpurusha, Vamadeva, Ahora, Satyojata, Ishana. 5 faces he manifests and does the Panchakritya, Srishti, manifestation, Sthiti, sustenance, Samhara, rejuvenation, Trobhava, pulling out of delusion, Anugraha, liberation. Understand? He does all these 5 jobs. Through these 5 phases. Now listen carefully. Tatpurusham, Vamadevam, Satyojatam, Ahoram, Ishanam. These 5 phases does Panchakrityas. Each phase, each dimension is not just one F-A-C-E phase, P-H-A-S-E phase. It's not just F-A-C-E, P-H-A-S-E. Understand? The creation, not just creation getting created, even sustenance need to be created, destruction need to be created, and pulling out of delusion need to be created, liberation need to be created. Then creation, manifestation need to be maintained. Maintenance, sthiti itself need to be maintained. Destruction, samhara, the rejuvenation need to be sustained, maintained when it is happening. Pulling out of delusion, trobhava, need to be maintained when it is happening. And anugraha, liberation, need to be maintained when it is happening. Those micromilliseconds when it is happening. So understand, Satyojata Murti as 5 phase, Ishana Murti as 5 phase, Vamadeva Murti as 5 phase, Agora Murti has 5 phase, Tatpurusha Murti has 5 phase. So, Tatpurusha Murti as is 5 phase, Agora Murti has is 5 phase, Vamadeva Murti has is 5 phase, Satyojata Murti has his 5 phase, Ishana Murti has his 5 phase. All these 5 Murtis, 5 phases put together is 25 phases of Mahasadashiva.
Bhagavan beautifully explained Paramashiva. Now, who is His Divine Holiness Bhagavan Nithyananda Paramashivam? Let's hear from Bhagavan himself. Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, Jagadguru Mahasannidhanam, His Divine Holiness Bhagavan Nithyananda Paramashivam, is a reviver of Kailasha, the ancient Enlightenment civilization, the great cosmic borderless nation. Is an avatar from and is a Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism. His Divine Holiness Bhagavan Nithyananda Paramashivam has made science of our manifestation, yoga, temple-based university for humanity, Sovereign Order of Kailasha, led by His Divine Holiness Bhagavan Nithyananda Paramashivam and Nithyananda Order of Monks, Nuns, Hindu diasporas are working for global peace to give superconscious breakthrough to humanity. Nithyananda Hindu University, world's largest with extended campus in 150 countries, is collecting, organizing, preserving, time capsuling, decoding, spreading and reviving 20 million source books of Hinduism and 64 sacred arts, science like Ayurveda, music, dance, sculpting, astrology, Vastu, and many more. His Divine Holiness Bhagavan Nithyananda Paramashivam is 293rd Guru Mahasannidhanam of Shamalapita Sarvanyapita, ancient apex body of Hinduism and present emperor of Suryavamsa Surangi Swamrajyam. His Divine Holiness Bhagavan Nithyananda Paramashivam has survived the worst persecution of multiple assassination attempts on person and character by anti-Hindu elements. Beautifully, Bhagavan now explains who is His Divine Holiness Bhagavan Nithyananda Paramashivam.
Everything is infinitely powerful. You realize your potentiality. You establish yourself in the completion, space of completion. You are God, that's all. All of us are gods. The first experience is that I was able to see everything around me, above me, the whole 360 degree. I realized not only I was able to see, I was able to feel, experience the skin of the stone on rock on which I was sitting and the skin of this body. Both carry me equally. In both I exist equally. Sangha is a place where the tattvas are taught to you, and till it becomes satya, you are supported. Akhadas are basically founded by Sadashiva himself. All is ganas, Shiva ganas. Exactly the word gana means. In your length, breadth, depth, if you are filled by Shiva, you are Shiva gana. All the Shiva ganas formed the first Akhada. Later on, much later, Kapila Muni organizes Mahanirvani Akhada. Then all other Akhadas. Mahamandaleshwar of Mahanirvani Akhada, the oldest apex body of Hinduism, I welcome every one of you. What I am teaching is from original Agamas Yogapada. The science very clearly declares, Sadashiva is very clear, manifestation of these powers happen when you experience oneness with Sadashiva. choose your guru, the best thing is find a person who is enlightened, experienced, who can play with energy, who can directly transmit experience to you, and who is in tune with the original Shastras, the source of the knowledge. All the revealed scriptures available about the yoga directly by Sadashiva for you to do research, study, practice, question the people who teach.
The science of power manifestation is a gift to the humanity which is authentic, time-tested, scientific and foolproof. Diksha, or the initiation from His Divine Holiness, Nithyananda Paramashivam, makes the science directly an experience for the initiates. The experience is directly authenticated by the Pramanas. The Shastra Pramanas, the eternal, unchangeable truth revealed in the source scriptures, the Veda and Agamas. The Apta Pramanas, the experience of the Rishis, Munis, Ganas, Nayanamars, Alvars and Siddhars, who are the authority of Hinduism, who have scientists who time-tested and verified the science of power manifestation. The Atma Pramanas are the avatar who land on the planet Earth to give a superconscious breakthrough to humanity. His Divine Holiness Bhagavan Nithyananda Paramashivam, this millennium's avatar, personal experience of power manifestation. Shakshi Pramanas, or the experience of the millions of disciples, devotees and followers initiated into the science of power manifestation by Bhagavan himself. Pratyaksha Pramanas, or the scientific studies which can be measuring the effect of being in the enlightened state.
Let's go to the powerful cognition from Bhagavan Satsang, Bhagavad Gita Decoded.
He comes back to the evening. He comes back to the house in the evening and he tells his wife, see, first day itself, they gave me a murder case to analyze. They gave me a murder case. Krishna can give such a solid, courageous statements. Jnana namnyeyam parinyata trivida karma chodana karanam karma kartedi trivida karma sangraha. All these things constitutes action. All these things are reason for anything to happen. And the next sloka he continues. Bhaktyam abhijanati yavan yachasmi tatvataha tado mam tatvado jnatva visade tadanantaram. One can understand me as I am, as the Supreme Personality or the Ultimate, by surrendering all these things into me. Bhaktya. When you just relax from all the bubbles which you collected just to support you or what you think as you, when you relax, then you understand the whole is me. You are not just a part, you are whole. And here he says, when one is fully consciousness, when one is in full consciousness of the eternal consciousness, when one is fully conscious of me, he enters into the eternal consciousness. He liberates himself. He liberates himself. Whatever you think, known, knowledge, whatever you know, including your knowledge about God, is about God. Please understand, whatever you know about God is about God, not God himself. So drop that also. Suddenly you will experience God. When you drop your knowledge about God, you will experience God. You will experience God. Otherwise, you will be just reading menu card. You will never taste the food. Don't waste your life just reading menu card. Let you experience the food, let you experience the taste. Sarvakarman yabhisata kurvano matyabasrayaha matprasada dadivapnoti shashvatam padamavyayam. Though engaged in all kinds of activities, my bhakta is protected by me, reaches the eternal consciousness just by my presence and blessing. Just now I was expressing this concept to some of our friends. When you relax, the instinct which continuously tries to protect you, just relax from that instinct. Suddenly you will create a space in which the power of coincidence can happen. Here he says, even if you are engaged in all kinds of activity, if you are my bhakta, means if you are surrendering just because of my protection, under my protection, you will experience the eternal or the ultimate eternal consciousness. You see, if he wants to give only the spiritual world, he doesn't have to say protection. Here he uses the word protection, means here he says outer world and the inner world both. The person who surrenders will experience both. All you need to do is a simple thing, get out, he will get in. Just get out, he will simply get in. A small story. One day, Vishnu was resting in his Sesha, the Adi Sesha. He is just resting, relaxing. Devi, Lakshmi was just doing Pada Seva, pressing the feet. In those days, women used to serve as men. In those days, Puranas say, women used to serve men. So, she was serving Krishna, she was serving Vishnu. Suddenly, Vishnu got up and ran for a few steps. He called Garuda, Garuda came, he ran to sit on the Garuda to go somewhere. But the moment Garuda came, without sitting on Garuda, he came back. Without sitting on the Garuda Vagana, he came back and sat. Lakshmi asked, what happened? Suddenly you rushed and you did not even go. The moment you saw the Garuda Vagana, you came back. What happened? Vishnu says, below, I saw one of my devotee. He was sitting and meditating on me. One antisocial element, on another one person. He was throwing stones to attack, to disturb my devotee. So I ran to protect him. Suddenly I saw this guy who was meditating. He opened his eyes and he picked up a stone to attack him back. Then I thought, all right, you yourself protect yourself. I came back. When I saw he is protecting himself, he is defending, I came back. I am sitting here. Understand? When you protect, he just rests and relax. When I use the word protect, I am not asking you not to lock your house. No. I am asking you to drop the survival of instinct, the instinct of survival. The survival instinct, which is continuously torturing you, which is continuously killing you. I tell you, the instinct to survive is the great killer. Nobody else kills you so much except the instinct of survival. If somebody kills you, he will kill you only at one point. Only once you will die from his hand. But the instinct of survival, continuously, every moment it kills you. Every moment you go through that expression, that experience. You go through that experience. All you need to do, just surrender the instinct to survive. You will suddenly wake up. And Krishna says, I protect you. Of course, intellectually you can never understand. Intellectually you can never understand this. How can I be protected by somebody who gave statements some thousands of years ago? By somebody, how can it be possible? How can I be protected just by surrendering my survival instinct? And only I have to protect me. You always have problem. A small story. One born blind man, he went to the doctor and asked, "Doctor, can you do something and give me my eyes back?" Doctor said, "Don't bother. I'll do something. I'll do a surgery. You will have your eyes. After that, you can walk without the stick." Blind man said, "Doctor, I can understand that you will do a surgery. I can understand I will have my eyes back. But how can I walk without stick?" By and by, stick has become part of his being. He started thinking, I cannot walk without stick. Intellectually, you cannot convince him. You can walk without stick after the surgery. You can't. But once the surgery is over, automatically he will throw the stick away and he will start walking. Same way I tell you, for you to exist, there is no need for instinct of survival. Survival instinct is not necessary for you to exist. Just surrender. Allow the surgery to be done on your being. Allow the operation to happen. You don't need fear or the instinct, the survival of instinct to exist. But you always ask the question, how can that be? How can I live without fear? Just like this blind man can never be convinced intellectually. He can never be convinced. He can walk without stick unless the surgery happens. Only when the surgery happens, only when he gets his eyes back, only after the experience he can understand he can live without stick. He can walk without stick. Same way, only when you surrender, only when you relax from the instinct to survive, suddenly something happens to you. The new consciousness happens to you. Then automatically you realize, you experience, you can live without the survival, the instinct to survive and instinct to possess. Without these two, you can live.
Mantra 50, Dharana 27. Sarvatah swasharirasya dvadashante manolayat dridha buddhe dridhi bhutam tatvalaksham pravartate sarvatah swasharirasya dvadashante manolayat dridha buddhe dridhi bhutam tatvalaksham pravartate.
Shastra Pramana are the eternal, unchangeable truth revealed in the source scriptures. Vijnana Bhairava Tantra, Sutra 50, Dharana 27. Bhagavan Paramashiva says, from all the sides take Dvadashanta in your body, such as a center between your two eyebrows. Just dissolve your mind in the third eye with a strong, constant, restful awareness. That person who does this, Drida Buddhi, the one who has established a firm strength of undivided awareness, to him the characteristics of existential reality of the supreme consciousness appears and manifests firmly, which does not subside at all. Bhagavan Parameshwar says so beautifully, the survival instinct and possessiveness. If we drop the possessiveness and the survival instinct, will be simply possessed by the higher reality. Only if that possesses us can we even know what it is. Right now, we only know conceptually what it is. We don't know what it is an actual. Bhagavan beautifully tells a story. A lady used to come to the master for giving the food items, but she used to be always late. So the master shouts at her and says, "Why are you late?" The lady says, "Oh, there is so much of water. It takes a lot of time for us to cross the water, so it becomes late." The master says, "Why you should wait for all the boat? You can chant the name and come faster." So she takes that as a guru walk, and then she started coming fast. And the master is little confused. How come this lady is coming very fast nowadays? She says, "You only told me that you chant the name, so I chant the name and walk on the water and come." What? The master says, "You walk on the water?" "Yes, I walk on the water and come." So the master says, "I want to see it." So he goes and sees, and she says, she chants the Krishna name and walks on the water and goes the other side and comes back. And the master is so surprised. He says, "How did you do that?" She said, "You only told Guru Vak is for my life, so I started doing it." And he also wanted to walk on the water. He also chanced goes there. But the minute he went there, he was pulling his dress up. The minute he had a self doubt, the water did not move, nothing happened. That is what Bhagavan says from this other story also, where Vishnu starts to run and take care of his devotee, but devotee took care of himself, so Vishnu settled back. Always we are trying to protect ourselves, and we have the survival instinct and also possess that identity that should not get dissolved or hurt or anything. Letting go the identity, that's why Bhagavan says, get out from you and Bhagavan will simply possess. The more you are out of yourself, more you let it happen, simply happens. He says so beautiful. When you're driving a car from one point to another point, you're eating, you have a meeting, you have driving, all that you do, not even once you are thinking that I'm driving a car, I should turn left, I should turn right, this is a signal. On a way you already know, you don't use even one thought to do all those things. You continue your eating, you continue your music, you continue taking care of kids, you continue have a meeting on the car. Everything is possible without even thinking. If you can do so many things without thinking, then for simple things, why do you need thoughts? Thoughts are not necessary to run our life. The survival instincts and possession is created by the thoughts. When we understand it is not required, and the more we use the thoughts, more we are clutched, and more the survival instincts is there, because it goes to the logical of how to survive this moment and how we are so possessed with everything that is around us, thinking that is going to take care of us. When you drop both, simply you will wake up into the next reality. You become empty and you will be possessed by the higher dimension. So beautifully, Bhagavan gives a very powerful cognition with that. Let's go to Apta Pramana. Apta Pramana power of altering the mind, remove the phobias. This is from Shiva Purana, chapter 49, page 1019. Lord Shiva causes a mind change in Andaka, the Asura. When the Asura apologizes for his mistake, but Lord Shiva forgives him and makes him the Lord of the Ganas. Shiva was drawn into the fierce battle against Andakasura. Shiva attacked Andaka with his trident, but every drop of Andaka's blood that fell down to the ground swapped another demon like him. Shiva requested goddess Chandi to drink the blood while he took care of the rest of the Andaka's duplicates. After vanquishing the remaining Asura, Shiva implanted Andaka and with his trident and lifted him thereupon. where he remained for a very long time. Once he realized his mistake, Andaka apologized to Shiva, providing the eulogy for a deity. This pleased Shiva. Who forgave him and made him the lord of Ganas. So amazing that Shiva removed how the asuras were constantly troubling the whole place, and once they understood their mistake and apologized, Shiva simply became the compassionate and forgive him. Let's go to the Atma.
When I gave this example, you feel, no, I never get this kind of thought flow. No. I am talking to you about you. If you just scan your thought flow, I can say, if we record connecting a software, automatic transcribing software to your thought pattern, at least 60% is Manipuraka Chakra. Just for no reason it will be flowing. And unidentifiable worries, unidentifiable items, no way directly relevant to your life, no way directly relevant to your day-to-day living, nothing. Because it is there, you worry about it. I have seen people just worrying about the neighbor. Even neighbor, at least you are seeing. Just like that, people worrying for no reason. Why are you worrying? Everything is going well today, who knows about tomorrow? Corrupt mental thinking system. You can identify this. If you just sit and go on, pen down whatever comes inside, just do that now. For 10 minutes. First 2-3 minutes you will not have worry. Because you will be consciously editing. No, this is not right thought. This is worry. But more than 3-4 minutes, even you can't edit. It will be there wildly standing in front of you and jumping. What will you do? So, now try. We can try. Just within 2-3 minutes, you see, whatever comes inside, go calling, just some useless, like a... no way that thought is going to improve your life. No way it is going to alter your life. Just because you are there and the problem is there, you will be thinking about it. I can say Satori and glimpse of enlightenment is one and the same. Please be seated. This is the reference to attention need during the two-way sessions at our satsang center when Swami blesses. Not expected, your mind is not expected to settle down just like that. The technique itself to engage your mind only. It's not that your mind will become suddenly calm, quiet. You will raise to a level where the mind is immaterial. And don't worry, as you say that I ended up acquiring one after another. After every Shivaratri, there used to be a program enacted in all Indian villages, Tamil Nadu villages especially. Devi will go to the cremation ground and throw puffed rice, all eatables, and then get into the cremation ground and kill the demon and come back. The story says she was supposed to kill a demon before sunrise, but the Demon had too many ghosts protecting him. When she went there, cremation ground, the war field, she saw millions of ghosts are there protecting the demon. She can't kill all these ghosts and reach demon by tomorrow morning before sunrise. The ghosts have the habit of picking up and eating from the ground. Even if you give in the hand, they will not eat. But if you throw it away, they will run after that food and pick up and eat. So she threw the eatables, puffed rice all over. All the ghosts are busy eating, picking up and eating without leaving the security job. She straight went and killed the demon and came back. Here, your ego is the demon. And all the thoughts you are having is the ghost. The technique I am giving is a puffed rice. When I throw this puffed rice technique, your thoughts will be too busy there. I will go and destroy the demon and come out. That's all. Surrender is the real surrender. The moment Kesh Ashok, 61. He is worried about once we experience levitation, could it be uncontrollable act if we are in office setting? Are we in control? Don't worry, you will be able to control. People ask me, in bathroom if I start levitating, what will happen? Don't worry, it will be controlled only. Actually, only when you sit and unclutch, it will start happening. It is not like that switch is automatic. When it wants, it starts. It doesn't stop. No. When you unclutch only, it starts happening. You can see the brahmacharis. Tonight I will show you, when they are levitating, don't think they are not aware. I can give them the needle and thread, they will be able to ease. The habit of worrying, the unconsciousness of worrying, this will prepare your whole system. Sit in Vajrasana or stand. Even standing is okay. Bring all your enemies in front of you, whom you hate, with whom you carry a deep vengeance. Mostly it will be people with whom you are living. Parents, spouse, you have deep unconscious vengeance on all of them. You want to take revenge for many things they did. Throw all the anger. Just vomit all the poison. Intensely, without giving a break. If you give a break, you will start thinking consciously. Don't think consciously. Just throw all the unconscious tantrum out. You can literally fight with whoever you want. Only thing, you can't touch anybody who is near you. You can't beat or touch, harm anybody who is around you. Please spread all over the hall.
Let's go to the Shakshi Pramana. We heard how worry affects us in what all ways and how it's a phobia. Now let's go to Shakshi Pramana, the disciple devotees who are being initiated by Bhagavan and they start manifesting the powers. Now let's listen to the devotee.
Talking about how I overcame my fear of ghosts and darkness. So when I was a little kid, I had a few experiences that really rooted fear into me. I'll give you a few examples. So the first, I was laying in my bed and I was facing stuff, so I turned over under my pillow to see, and by the time I turned over, then there was nothing there. And so I just screamed at the top of my lungs like, "Mom!" And I like ran down was on, because for maybe 2 years before that I was sleeping with my door open and the hall light on, because I couldn't stand the idea of darkness. And I actually had an attic in my closet, which was big enough for people to be in. And so I had tremendous fear of this attic, and that there would always be someone trying to kill me or some ghost in there, right? So whenever I would hear sounds coming from that area or from the closet or this creaking, I would scream and call my mom or my dad in and have them look inside the attic and check. My froze, and I couldn't move, and I couldn't breathe, and I couldn't scream, and I couldn't make any sound, I couldn't do anything. And I just sat there, like eyes open, like waiting. And this sound of the rustling of my carpet came from where, like near my door, all the way in next to my bed, like right next to my bed. I could just hear the carpet moving, and I was freaking out. And all of a sudden, it stopped. And then I felt this thing go and like touch from my feet all the way up to my chest. And in that moment, I just panicked. Essentially, right, I had this fear of the darkness, and I had this fear of ghosts. And how I came out of it is a beautiful spiritual technique called completion, which my guru, Paramahamsa Nithyananda, explains and gives, which comes originally from the Agamas, a section called the Jnana Bhairava Tantra. In that, this technique of completion is given, where you go back and you relive the incidents, but consciously, from the same standpoint, the same mindset, the same body you were in when you were a child. It is not remembering the incident, because that only puts us into powerlessness. But by reliving it and re-experiencing those experiences, the power over us and the wrong cognitions we held onto in those moments just lose their power over us completely. So after doing completion, by reliving these experiences and all the fear incidents which had happened in my life, through this technique, I conquered my fear to where I used to be, whenever I'd walk around some stranger's house in the dark, I would kind of be nervous or having some slight fear in me, or things like that. And all that left me after I did this completion process. And what's even, and how it proved itself to me was, one time I was riding my bike to the library, and it was like 9:30 at night. It was pitch black, and the library where I live is connected to a massive park, and there's a road that goes around the park, and there's a part of that road which is covered on both sides by trees, and it was pitch black. But that day I was just riding along. This is after my inner awakening, after I had done all this completion on all these fear patterns. I came to that spot, and I was just riding on the sidewalk where there's street lights, but I saw inside the park, like, hey, there's this road that goes into pure darkness. And I just thought to myself, I'm gonna just prove that I have no fear anymore. Watch this. I'll just get off my bike and I'll walk right into that darkness, just proving to myself I've overcome all this. And I just got off my bike and I walked straight in with sheer confidence, and that even when fear overcomes you, by facing it, you just come right out of it. So I just walked straight through, and that was the moment that it was just like, yes, the completion has brought a result, that I am no longer afraid of darkness. I no longer have any cognition that there are some entities or ghosts or anything that has power over me which can affect my life, which can do harm to me. I have nothing to be afraid of in these ways. And after experiencing this big shift, I just knew completion is the way to overcome all these wrong cognitions, these wrong understandings, which got drilled into me, programmed into me by my life. So if you all struggle with certain fears, phobias, any wrong understandings which create pain or powerlessness in you, then I urge you to try the completion process, because at least for me, it's brought tremendous results.
So beautiful sharing. The Apta Pramana, Atma Pramana, and the Shakshi Pramana to remove the phobia.
We will now begin the Pratyaksha Pramana, scientific studies on the avatar. It is important to realize that Sri Nithyananda Paramashivam is the only avatar who has agreed to be scientifically evaluated, both in terms of his own body as well as the changes he brings about in other beings. However, it is astonishing to know that his avataric attributes and powers are exactly as defined by the 5,000-year-old Hindu yogic sciences. After extensive observation and study, now it is being tested and proven by modern science also. So now, let us take a look at how the scientific studies present the measuring of effect of being in the enlightenment state through the very imaging brain activity of Bhagwan himself, Jagat Guru Mahasanidhanam, His Divine Holiness Bhagwan Nithyananda Paramashivam, whom we lovingly address as Swamiji. Swamiji himself has been subject to scientific studies since year 2004, and over the past decade, enormous amount of data about not only his altered states of neurophysiology, but that of his disciples as well has continued to be recorded. This impressive array of data will be presented systematically now as the Prataksha Pramana. Imaging brain activity. The result of Swamiji's PET scan test was stunning. The dominant hemisphere of Swamiji's brain was more than 90% shut down. It was as if Swami's brain had packed up and gone on vacation. It was quiet and still, completely at peace, and Swami had made it so at will. The region, which is starting point of the Anya chakra or third eye, lower portion of its mesial frontal area, lighted up in a very significant way. When we later asked Swami what he was doing when the mesial frontal lobes lighted up, he said he was opening his third eye. Source taken from Avatar Shastra, Chapter 1 and Introduction, page 47. The third eye is considered to be, by many, seat of the soul. Were we seeing an indication that deep meditation can open an area of the brain responsible for communicating with the divine? Looking deep into the mysteries of self or creation, the PET scan revealed what Dr. Murali calls the brain's D spot, standing for delight, the divine, or even dopamine, the chemical through which our bodies experience pleasure. Initial indications are that meditation can stimulate it.
Dr. R. Murali Krishna, President COO, Integris Mental Health, James L. Hall Jr., Center for Mind, Body and Spirit, Oklahoma in US, and his team invited Nithyananda to derive scientific evidences for meditation and the state of his enlightenment.
Usually the brain is so active, there are 100 billion brain cells there. But what meditation does is something very interesting. It shows the frontal lobes getting more active. The frontal lobe is where you have judgment, wisdom, reasoning. Here are some of the brain scans I'm going to share with you. This is alert, non-meditative state. The second one is 30 minutes into 30 minutes meditation. Look at the frontal lobes, how they light it up. They light it up big time. 60 minutes of deep meditation, and here is a deep, deep level of meditation where it lights up significantly right here, right in the middle, probably 1.5 inches, 2 inches deeper.
From time immemorial, it is believed that great masters are always in the state of bliss or causeless happiness. They are unconditionally happy. With modern sophisticated equipments, we are able to detect this truth. The dopamine secretion is always abundant in the case of Paramahamsa Nithyananda.
The D really stands for divine spot. The D also stands for delight, and the dopamine spot. What's also interesting is that he could at will go in and out of those states. So we asked Swamiji when he came from the scanning room, when we saw this one, we asked Swamiji, what were you exactly doing when so and so thing happened? He didn't know what was there. He did not see the pictures yet. He said, really interestingly, there were 3 people there, he said, I opened my third eye. And that's stunning because I learned about third eye as a child, but didn't read about it for a long time, what it is. But what he said was, I asked him to describe more in detail what does he mean by third eye. And he said, it's a deep meditative state. It's probably very, very deep state. But he said, it looks like a a small petal on one side going and join, another side, another petal comes and join, and you join together, and then it becomes the third eye, like a blissful state that you experience when you open third eye. So that's really a very, very interesting and fascinating finding, and we're going to talk about it for a long time.
The title of this paper does not mean that it is possible to close one's eyes and read a newspaper, but it means that a sentence can be read with the eyes closed when that sentence is properly presented to the eyes. It also means that a picture can be seen with closed eyes when a properly prepared picture is presented to the eyes. This is accomplished by making use of the X-rays to stimulate the retina. Everyone can have this retina stimulated by X-rays and see the light. Over 100 observers have been tested and everyone has been able to read letters with closed eyes. The method is extremely simple. The first essential is that the observer must remain in total darkness for 10 minutes. By the time he is able to see light when X-rays strike his retina, he may not be able after 10 minutes to see letters, but he will after 15 minutes in the dark. After 20 minutes, he can see and read the letters and see pictures. Source from Reading with Eye Closed, National Center for Biotechnology Information.
Set up the items required for the power of removing the phobia. Camera with timestamp, Nyananjan, partner, explain to the partner clearly step by step what exactly you're going to be doing. The pencil and paper for partner and you for giving the details of the issues. Let's set up the camera. Take few moments to set up your camera. Download the timestamp app. Click on the video. Ensure the timestamp app is seen on the screen very clearly and vividly. Make sure the camera is facing you and your partner in a wide angle. It is in a bright place, in a quiet place, so that the video recording is done correctly. Please take a few minutes to set up the whole camera because it's so authentic what would be revealed through you. It'll be an amazing thing to record it and keep it. Guidelines for manifesting the power. Turn on the video recording. Apply the Jnananjan on your third eye. Bring your awareness to your third eye. Ask the partner to write down the phobia, and then you scan the partner and find the phobia exactly, and then give the solution as seen in your third eye. When the phobia matches, if it matches exactly, then you have manifested. If you're just feeling the Kundalini energy or something, some part of it is correct, wonderful, you'll start manifesting the power. Start sharing by celebrating by sharing the videos to your friends and families. You'll simply start manifesting more and more deeper powers. Verify the video is authentic. Share the video with others and your families and friends. Listen to others' experience of the power manifestation to entangle with them.
Power manifestation instructions. Let's sit straight, the head, neck, and back in a straight line, so that beautifully the Kundalini energy raises to the Agnya where the manifestation happens. Usually our awareness is on Muladhara, Swadhisthana, and Manipuraha, where navel center, your below navel center. Here, bringing the awareness to your third eye and sitting straight will give us amazing possibility of power manifestation. Now let's understand few words that Bhagavan is repeatedly using. Shaktipada, oneness, be unclutched, initiation. So here first we will see in Bhagavan's words what is Shaktipada.
Let me give an introduction about what is Shaktipada process. Please understand. You would have seen or heard about how the chicken sits on the egg and hatches. Of course, in the modern countries, this does not happen. Machine sits on the egg and our egg sits on the machine. In those days, originally when hens and chicken were getting produced on the planet Earth, the hen used to sit on the chicken and
hen used to sit on the egg and the chicken will come out of the egg. See, same way, Sadashiva, sitting means the ultimate cosmic energy sitting on the individual soul and making the individual soul into cosmic energy is Shaktipada. Hence, sitting on the egg and making the chicken happen, same way. You may think, how come, what is going on here? That hen is only sitting just by the body heat of the hen, the egg is becoming chicken. Because no surgery is done and nothing goes inside. It's only sitting. Same way, it is just sitting. It's only the presence, the Shaktipada, makes the individual soul into cosmic soul.
Beautifully, Bhagavan explained Shaktipada, how individual soul becomes cosmic soul. And let's listen to initiation.
You see, let me explain the initiation. Initiation is the process beyond your intellectual understanding. The transmission of lamp happens. Now, you understood something intellectually. There is something which is not understood, which can't be transmitted through the words. That is transmitted. That's what we call initiation. Sometimes I tell people that unless you are initiated, the techniques do not create the result. The reason is you do not grasp completely whatever is expressed through words. Initiation is like it just transmits whatever need to be transmitted beyond logic and beyond words. People ask me why to wear this bracelet or this mala and all those things. This all will remind you. Why bracelet in the hand? It will remind you, before eating, did you meditate? It's a constant reminders. Before eating, let you be reminded, did you do the meditation? That is why this bracelet. That is why this mala. That is why this external things. Sometimes this external things does a big job of reminding you constantly. That is why take the help of external things also, nothing wrong. People ask me, why we can just be spiritual without having external things? If you can, really you are welcome. But I don't think anybody who speaks in that way is successful. I've never seen people becoming successful avoiding the external things, just having internal things. And it is just a nice way of escaping from yourself.
Beautifully, Bhagavan explained initiation. Let's listen to be unclutched. What is to be unclutched?
The thoughts, every thought is independent, illogical, unconnected, and unclutched. Because the gap between two thoughts is too small. The neutral space between the two thoughts is too small. You think all the thoughts are connected and it is in the shape form. It is not. By your very nature, every thought is independent, illogical, unconnected, and unclutched. Between every thought, you experience a neutral space. When you change the gear, whether you go from neutral to 1 or 1 to 2 or 2 to 3 or 3 to 4 or 4 to whatever gears you may change, but every time you have to come to the neutral space. Only then you can go to the next gear. Even if you want to go from 2 to 3, you have to come to the neutral space. Only then you can go to 3. Same way, between every thought, you experience a neutral space. You experience a neutral space between every thought. Between every thought. That neutral space, that silence is what I call peace or bliss. The peace which exists, the bliss which exists already in you, between every thought, the gap of the thought, the gap between the thoughts, that neutral space is the peace, is the bliss. When you understand you are unconnected, independent, illogical, and unclutched by your very nature, you will start experiencing the neutral space in you, neutral space which exists in you. You will start living from moment to moment in spontaneity. We need to understand one more thing. This technique of being unclutched, it does miracles in your being. In the body level, or in the mental level, or in the being level. In every level, when you understand the truth, by your very nature, you are unclutched. The tremendous quantum transformation. You take a quantum jump. The transformation happens in quantum, not step by step. Just one jump. You take a quantum jump and experience the truth awakening in you.
The oneness space is the most beautiful space that Bhagavan himself is explaining how we are ferocious. Beyond the tiredness and boredom, we can experience the space of oneness and be unclutched.
Oneness is not imagination. Oneness is not visualization. Oneness is not even just declaration. It is your existence. An idea which is you is oneness. The idea which has become part of your very space, which does not tire you or bore you by the passage of the time, is oneness. Mahadeva says in the Agama, Sadashiva beautifully explains in the Agama, Kala, Yama cannot tire you or bring boredom to you if something becomes your space. Devi achieved the blissful state and union with Mahadeva on Shivaratri day because our space became oneness. Anything which brings tiredness or boredom has not yet become your space. If living in this body brings you tiredness and boredom, you are not going to be living in this body forever. When that becomes too much, you are going to drop it and move ahead. If you want to be in oneness forever, it should become part of your space, means you should become ferocious with you and break this very tiredness and boredom. Only when you deal you with the ferociousness, you break the tiredness and boredom. With that ferociousness, you need to make oneness as your space. Anything stands as an imagination in the length level visualization in the breadth level, declaration in the depth level. If you open your time with ferociousness, it just sinks into space level. With this ferociousness, the time layer in you opens, and the oneness from imagination to visualization to declaration, it becomes your space, the way of existence.
The most important, Bhagavan says, being unclutched, understanding the Shaktipada, the oneness space, and chanting the Mahavakya. The Mahavakya, the power of the Mahavakya, pushes you into the higher states of consciousness. Here, Bhagavan himself explains how we can experience the Shaktipada, raised higher consciousness, through Mahavakya.
It's one of the very important revelation by Sadashiva. All the electronic equipments work when the electrons are made to vibrate. That happens by the light. When the electricity is supplied, the light particle vibrates, the electronic equipment starts working. Just like that, the spiritual power and the umbilical cord connection, spiritual umbilical cord connection between you and me, it works with sound particle. For example, my integrity with the cosmos, Sadashiva, Mahasadashiva, it reverberates in certain level of frequency. When you are integrated to me, you also start reverberating in the same frequency. If your integrity goes down, that is when you start connecting with me only as a manager or this organization head or your Purvashram father, mother. Your connection with me goes down to the lower level if the integrity gets reduced. I was wondering, what is the way we can bring people to the higher integrity immediately and the feeling connection, so they start manifesting the powers, they start staying in the space of Sadashivatva. Sadashiva revealed a beautiful sound. I can tell you, this is like a password. At any point, if you are not able to bring yourself to oneness, you are a little shaken, disturbed, or for some reason, you are not able to bring yourself to oneness. This is like a password. You type, whether your mind feels connected or not, the energy will start flowing in you beyond the depth dimension. You see, all mind oscillation, restlessness, all mental idea based feeling connected or not feeling connected is only length, breadth, depth level, not in the space level. But this sound will straight infuse energy from the space level. Like for example, if the power goes off, automatically the generator will get switched on and the power supply will be going on. So end result will not be lost. Whether government power supply or the generator power supply, end result will not be stopped. So whenever you feel little that oneness is, you are not catching it, just feed this password. Immediately the oneness will open up and you will start manifesting the powers, energy, and the whole space will shift. It is directly from Sadashiva. It's a beautiful sound. I don't even want to say it's a mantra. It is not even a mantra because there is no meaning in it. You can't derive a meaning for it. It just flashed like a password for all the initiations I am giving. One single password for all the initiations I am giving. And the initiations I gave, I am giving, I will be giving. For all the This is like one password. Don't even repeat like a mantra. Just feed like a password and it will just open up. Your whole being will open up. Listen carefully. It starts with the vibration Om. Listen and then repeat. Om. Very deep. Om. Nithyananda. Nithyananda. Maha Sadashivoham.
So Bhagavan gave beautiful explanation of how you can be in Shaktipada. Visualize Paramashiva who has come down as Bhagavan Nithyananda Paramashivam from Kailasha. Remembering Paramashiva in your third eye. Again and again, bringing your awareness to your third eye simply makes you manifest powers. Absolute unclutching. How Bhagavan said, the neutral zone. Nothing ever touches the screen. Like same way, the movie does not touch the screen, whether it is happening in ferocious or any soft, beautiful, nothing touches the screen. Be unclutched like the screen. And to experience the state of Paramashiva, your inner space being completely unclutched. Complete completion to experience the space of Paramashiva. Inside us, the complete completion happens when we are in tune with Paramashiva. That everything is redundant and irrelevant. The essence of completion is irrelevant. Nothing matters in your life because everything is complete completion. Oneness with Paramashiva. How Bhagavan said, in ferocious breaking the boredom and tiredness, just being in the space of oneness with Paramashiva to manifest the powers of Paramashiva. Tyaga as Paramashiva is your only strength, now declaring complete integrity with Bhagavan to experience the being of Paramashiva. How Bhagavan said, chanting the Mahavakya raises your frequency and that is your only strength to manifest any reality. Being in this beautiful space of Paramashiva, you can experience such a beautiful space, state, powers, and becoming the being of Paramashiva, manifesting whatever you want. Now, you will be manifesting the powers, watching the oneness capsule, and chanting the Mahavakya, Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. We'll be playing the Mahavakya and the oneness capsule for you to manifest powers. At end of the Mahavakya, you can start with the verification and sharing and causing. Thank you.
Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. 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 Let Paramashiva's third eye manifest in all our third eyes. Let the Amrita pour Let the Vani open up, manifest in all of us. Let Paramashiva overflow, manifest the powers in all our third eye. Om Jnana Paramashivam. 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 Let Paramashiva's third eye manifest in all our third eyes. Let the Amrita pour, let the Vani open up, manifest in all of us. Let Paramashiva overflow, manifest the powers in all our third eye. Om Jnana Paramashivam. 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 Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Let Paramashiva's third eye manifest in all our third eyes. Let the Amrita pour, let the Varni open up. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Let Paramashiva's third eye manifest in all our third eyes. Let the Amrita pour, let the Varni open up, manifest in all of us. Let Paramashiva overflow, manifest the powers in all our third eyes. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. 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 Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. Let Paramashiva's third eye manifest in all our third eyes. Let the Amrita pour, let the Varni open up, manifest in all of us. Let Paramashiva overflow, manifest the powers in all our third eyes. Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham. 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 Paramashivoham.
Let Paramashiva's third eye manifest in all our third eyes. Let the Amrita pour, let the Om Nithyananda Paramashivam 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 Let Paramashiva's third eye manifest in all our third eyes. Let the Amrita pour, let the Vani open up, manifest in all of us. Let Paramashiva overflow, manifest the powers in all our third eyes. Om Nithyananda Paramashivam 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 Om Nithyananda Paramashivam.
Verification process for removing the phobia. No video editing for Shakti Avishkarna power. No video should be started and stopped during the process. All videos should have the timestamp and wide angle view. No clues or hints should be given during the manifestation. No Bluetooth or gadget during the manifestation. Authentically explain the phobia which they have gone through and give the solution through the third eye. If the phobia matches exactly, then the detail provided then give the detail of the solution. Do not interpret or tamper the results.
Beautiful. We are at the end of the power manifestation, but most important part of the power manifestation. Here, we are going to share all that you have manifested with the social media groups. Here we have Sri Kailasha Kotyar Manifesting Power Groups. Thousands of people are part of that. And you can share there and you can post your powerful cognition and the videos. The link is tinyurl.com/power manifestation. It is at the left corner of the page. You can click on it and you can post your beautiful experience in the power manifestation group. Why sharing and causing is very important part of power manifestation. Bhagavan beautifully explains that sharing is pulling us out of delusion and causing is liberating us. We are the ones who need to start experiencing the higher states of reality, how we need to exist. Beautifully, Bhagavan explains when you are sharing with others the ultimate beautiful multidimensional logic, your brain rewires into the higher space of consciousness, the Turyatita state. Again and again, when you experience even a little bit, you share with the world, your experience becomes reality. Same thing when you cause others to come and get initiated for higher reality, you are caused into the higher purpose, the ultimate reality. Bhagavan says extreme causing, extreme power manifestation is extreme causing. So beautifully he explains how our strength is declared on Paramashiva. The power manifestation happens exactly in tune to that. And sharing with the world, continuously reiterating ourselves the experience that we had from the powerful cognition and manifesting the space of Paramashiva, the state of Paramashiva, the beings of Paramashiva, we become Paramashiva. Go on sharing and causing, which is the most important part of how you have experienced your reality. When you go to a temple, we pray and we see that beautiful experience happen in us, and then share with the world that how amazing the temple experience has manifested as your reality. Same way, when you manifest powers, when you share with the world, it becomes more and more the depth cognition of you, and you will be experiencing more powers. Even if you're manifested very small, it does not matter the quantity. Bhagavan says the quality is important. If it is authentic, please go ahead and share with the world. Do not doubt, have self-doubt, self-denial, self-hatred come and block anything. Experience the ultimate in deep seeking and gratitude. Bhagavan manifest in you with a deep prayer, that asking Bhagavan to make this reality as your existential reality. With that, let's end with the Purna Mantra, thanking Bhagavan for all these great experience. We have come to the end of the power manifestation course, and we end with the Purna Mantra. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purna Purnamadashyate Purnasya Purnamataya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Tat Sat Sarvam Bhagavate Sri Nithyananda Parameshwaram Padaka Arpanamastu. Om Nithyanandam. Thank you for participating in the Jnana Paddhati, Nithyananda Jnana Paddhati course. Please go ahead and select more power manifestation and every day experience the ultimate reality for yourself. Nithyananda.
Om Nithyananda Paramashivoham